Hello, guys. So I was thinking, I heard a lot of psychics and kind of people like this talking about the European Union, and they're all convinced that European Union is going to disintegrate. And I don't know what to say about it. I'm not a psychic. I don't have any abilities like this. I just recently learned how to use tarot and how to maybe get more in touch with my own intuition. And so I feel like I get messages like this with the help of the cards. So I want to do a tarot reading about the European Union for the short term and a bit longer term. So, and to see what the cards have to say, because I'm not inclined to believe that it will disintegrate, and I kind of I don't buy that. I don't buy what all these psychics and whatever they are. They're so convinced that it's not gonna last and that China will be a superpower and Russia and the America will like these are the prediction I heard that America will face a really hard time because they'll have these natural calamities and it will be destroyed, and the European Union is going to collapse completely, and there will be a change, and that China will be first and will lead the world, and Russia also. I don't really believe that. I mean, I don't know what the future is. Like, maybe there's a possibility that this could be true, but I don't know why. I just don't believe this. I think there's an agenda. I think that honestly, in spiritual community, I see that a lot of people are falling for propaganda from Russia. And I see how they infiltrated, how deep infiltrated they are within societies in every country, and especially I see spiritual people, spiritual community falling for that. And yeah, I'm skeptical about what they have to say. I just feel like there's a distortion there. I just feel that there's something that is not right there. So yeah, I don't know the truth. Maybe it's true, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But I want to see. So I want to see my version. I want to see what the cards are telling me. So yeah, let's do a test and see. So the first reading for European Union is going to be for a relatively short time, like maybe 4 or 5 years, maybe 10 the most. Let's say like the most 10 years, like from now the next 10 years, how European Union is going to look. And the second reading will be for like longer term, like 30 years, something like this. So let's see the European Union, how it will look like in the next 10 years tops. Approximately 10 years. So let's see. Okay, so this one had to jump out. The menstruation, the inner energy, what's coming from the outside, what's needed to do, and the last one, something to understand. Whew, okay, so next years, maximum 10 years. Four of Cups, renunciation, letting go. Okay. The inner energies, we are the world. 10 of Pentacles. The outer energies, lightning. Yes, yeah, I see. Something is trying to destroy it. Something is trying to... The enemies, Mr. Putin. And, okay. Completion. We have the completion card. And blossoming. Okay. So, from what I see here, definitely outside forces are trying to ruin it. And this is like, you don't need to be a a brainiac. You don't need to be an expert to realize this, that there's someone trying to destroy the European Union. This is Mr. Putin right here. Okay. From the inside energy, there's this need for connection, need for togetherness. This is like we're all together in this communication, togetherness that is trying to, the inner energy, trying to hold it together, trying to keep us together. We're together in this, we're stronger together, and we're accepting our differences. We can still be together, we can be different but still be together. Togetherness, communion. Okay, there's this need to let, this renunciation is, there's this need to let go of certain something. There will be certain things that will need to be abandoned, like not abandoned, let go of. So there are some losses. I see here some losses, but at the same time, this card is renunciation. Is, from what I see here, see this woman being centered in herself, meditating, trying to find her own strength, and this outside voice is trying to get in her head and trying to disturb her inner peace. So for this card, it's like I see staying centered and keep on with what you know you must do. Stay centered and do not let others destabilize you. Don't let these voices interrupt your meditation. Keep going at it. Stay centered and let go of certain things, because there's this completion card. A cycle is some, there's a, like, I don't see destruction because there's blossoming here. I mean, if this wasn't here, maybe it would have been in a bit of trouble, but it will be okay. It will continue. It won't, it will flourish. Actually, from what I see, it will become even better. But there's this need of completing a cycle, ending a cycle and beginning a new one, letting something go on with having to leave certain something behind. Maybe this is the England left behind, maybe is something else, some condition, something that, but there is something is being left behind, and a way of being is over. Yeah, I think this is the UK leaving, and we have to go on a new cycle without them, leaving them behind, without them, and it will be okay. It will flourish, and it looks okay. It looks good for the next, so this is for approximately 10 years, something like this. Next 10 years, less, could be less, but the top is 10 years. So yeah, this is pretty accurate. Something, the tower, lightning, wanting to destroy it. Outside, coming from the outside forces. This is the outer energy, and the inner energy is connection, togetherness. We're together in this. We're different. but we're together and we're stronger together. Community. Yeah, so it's like something is being left behind. This is maybe UK, you know. You have to go on with it, being centered on yourself and on your purpose. Do not let the outer outside disturbances uh, deter you from your purpose. And it will be okay with this. Like, there's a reassurance with this blossoming here. It looks good. It's going to blossom and be maybe even better than it was. Okay, so this is for like 10 years tops. Like, now I want to see for a bit of longer term. Let's see how it looks for like 20, 30 years, something like this. Next 20, 30 years. Let's say 30, approximately 30 years, more or less. Or relatively longer term. How the European Union is going to look like, and what is going to happen. Okay, let's see. The future of European Union for approximately 30 years, maybe longer, maybe a bit less, like the next big shift, or the how things will look for like approximately 30 years. Okay. The main card. Okay. And the next. Let's see. I hope the cards show us some message that makes sense. We have the Lovers, or this could be like contract, something like this. I could see like this, although the Lovers, we'll see. Morality. There's this Queen of Swords in our energy. Ooh, we have politics, deceiving. It's not gonna end. Oh wow, transformation. And moment by moment. Okay, so nothing is set in stone for anything, but like this is like what could happen. Like, it's a probability for this to happen. Okay, so this is politics. There's someone who's trying to deceive. There's someone who's keeps trying to manipulate and deceive. It's called politics, this one. When you're trying to, the Seven of Swords, you're trying to lie, to cheat, for your own advantage, and you're harming. You want to harm. This togetherness, like I could see, it's like the togetherness of people, the binding together, being together in some form of contract between us. There's this Queen of Swords, like we're not the judging. We're not gonna take this. This is like a position. So I see like it's a lot of conflict. Really, it's a lot of conflict that I'm seeing here. A lot of fighting. The fighting won't end. Like, it will. I feel like it it will withstand for the attacks that Putin is doing now, and for this next 10 years it will withstand. It will grow despite UK leaving, but this fighting won't end. This fighting won't stop. And it's like, with this Queen of Swords here as inner energy, is like we're ready. We're fighting for this. We're not putting our guard down. But there's a bit of, from here I see like there's a bit of a bit of small-mindedness, a bit of this Queen of Swords, like harsh energies. Is not. Maybe it's like could be missing a point. I mean, they're trying to defend themselves, but they're missing a point. They're being too like this. There's a need for transformation. There's this need for transformation. This didn't come from outside. If this would come from outside, this would be bad. This would be destruction. It's keep trying, but there's a need for reformation. There's a need for change. There's a need for restructure. There's a need for, yeah, this Queen of Swords, this like rigid mentality. There's still this rigid mentality, and it needs to be transformed, this kind of thinking, this kind of aggression. Maybe it's like yeah, like from what I see here, actually, this being the matter, there's this need for more inclusion. There's a need for more acceptance. There's a need for change, but in this direction. There's a need for radical change, but more in this direction of love and openness towards others, and balance with this moment by moment. It could be either a choice that would have to be made, or and at the same time trying to be more balanced in your thinking. Don't be like this, because this is not a balanced energy. This is like cut through, rough, a bit of like small-minded way of seeing things, too drastic, too short term somehow, unallowing, too harsh energy. So I think there will be restrictions. There will be some sort of restrictions, but they need to transform this restrictive way of seeing, this restrictive way of being, in order to be more balanced. So okay, so again, general thing, there are still forces trying to screw with it, trying to destabilize and gain, and they're looking for their own gains and their own profits. And there will be this, the countries in European Union, the how to say this, the leaders of that time will be too restrictive, will be too unallowing, and they probably need to change this restrictive mentality and maybe include more, become more open, because love is about openness, is the opposite energy of this one. It's openness, allowing, loving, compassion, so that it will be more balanced. So like in the future, so yeah, there are still problems, but there will be this need for change the structure. There will be like a need for a bigger upgrade in the way things are being conducted, in the rules, and there will be this need for even more openness. So yeah, this is what I see from these cards here. We'll see, like this is way too long term, so this is a bit less accurate because it's too, a lot of things can happen. As I said, absolutely nothing is set in stone. Anything can happen. It all depends on the energy and the way things are turning moment to moment. So anything could happen, but this is like a high probability of things to come. So the European Union will withstand, will have to be strong, and it will prevail. It will become stronger and even more blossoming. It will be uh, it will be okay. It will flourish, but in the longer term, somehow things will change in a way that they become rigid. They become too um, small-minded and harsh and unallowing. I feel like they're trying to close themselves, and maybe they're not willing to open and maybe to deal differently with others. I don't know. But there's this need of including others. There's this need of more compassion in the way you're doing things. There, and there's a need for change. There's a need for ending of the old structures, for sure. So ending of old structures. Maybe the society would evolve differently, and um, we as a collective, we evolve and we do things differently. So maybe these are the old structures that are rigid, that needs to come to an end and change and transform, because this is, I think we will have a like more open society, a more loving, a more enlightened society in the future. And all structures need to come down in order for the new, the love, to begin, so that we would be more balanced with this two of pentacles, balance, so that will become overall more balanced. But yeah, there are still people trying to fuck around and to destabilize and to, you know, the political games coming from selfishness. Like, it will still be there, these energies of old structures and selfishness, and but I feel like there's a need for change in old structures, as I said, to come down, old ways of doing things to come down, to make room for a different kind of society, a different kind of contract, a different, that is based on compassion. And this, I see like compassion for all. It's not just seeing just for your own benefit, not just for your structure. You need to open to others. So for sure society will evolve. Like, look how different we are now from 100 years ago. So for sure it will change. And the structures that are currently now will have to transform and change. So yeah, this is what I see in this reading. Yeah, we will see. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to ask me. And I will gladly do a reading for you guys. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.